Hello and welcome to the Budget Timekeeper and welcome to another video. So I haven't made one recently, so I thought let's start with something interesting. So today I got an interesting comment and I thought I'll make a replies to that comment because it's a very useful thing and a lot of people may find benefit. So I got a comment from Jitendra Singh and he says, I recently got an HMT Kohinoor 1979 model from a local shopkeeper for 400. It's working perfectly fine. It is just looking old and greasy. So I took it to an authorized person who is dealing with HMT since 1968 in Hyderabad. He's asking 1500 to 2000 for all the makeover, including servicing, polishing, strap change, everything. Is it worth spending? Now, a simple answer from my point of view would be yeah, 1500 to 2000 seems about right. 2000 maybe a little more, but 1500 seems okay. Now, to elaborate on this, because I want to give you a few important tips here, he says strap change. Now, I don't know if it has a leather strap or a metal bracelet because these HMT Kohinoor models, they came with metal bracelets. So keep in mind if the metal bracelet is just a little worn out or dirty, you can get it cleaned. Keep the original stuff as much as possible. Like my first tip would be to keep the watch in its original condition as much as possible. So for example, recently I got this here, the HMT Vijay, once again from Wasim Ahmed Bhai. And look at the strap on this. The strap is the major appeal to me here. The reason I got this watch is the strap. I mean, the case is amazing. I love these cushion case style cases. So I wanted the case, but the strap caught my eye because this is an original strap and you don't see these very often. So a huge appeal of this watch is the strap. So if you can keep it original as much as possible, it makes a huge difference. It adds to the charm and the look of the watch. So I would say if it's a metal bracelet, try to keep it, even if you're not going to use it, even if it doesn't look good, keep it with yourself, put it in a plastic bag, put it away because those things have a lot of value and in my eyes at least, they have a lot of charm. The second thing is regarding the originality once again. Um, for me, the least important thing when it comes to originality of the watch would be the crystal or the glass. I don't care. You can change that, of course, unless it's like a Rolex or something. Then you may want to have some sort of backup. But the strap, I have no issue with the glass. I have no issue if it gets changed. In fact, this one I've had the glass changed. This one I've had the glass changed. Then we have the strap or the bracelet. Now you can see here, this is sort of an integrated style. This one matches it. This is an integrated style. So keeping the bracelet is also important for the look and of course the originality of the watch. This one, I have these two, I have changed the straps. Again, I got them from a local shop. I think I went to my shop and they did not really have a lot of 18 mm. He had two. I needed one and then I bought the other as well because I thought why not, because it may be harder to find. Also, this looks pretty good. So again, I think I spent like 180 rupees or something for this, for these two each. So yeah, you can do that. This watch I've had a full restoration done. So this is the perfect example. I paid 1500 in total. So what that includes is full service of the watch, changing of the battery because this is a quartz watch, um, chrome and buffing. So the bracelet and the case were different materials. So one needed chroming, one needed buffing. So got that done. The glass was sapphire, so as you can see here, it is pretty good, so did not need changing. Plus, I wanted to keep the sapphire glass. This watch was in such a bad shape that I could not even rotate the bezel, it was jammed. So all of that was done, and the only downside you could say was this one had like a two-tone color, but when you are going to buff it and polish it, you lose that. So I said, okay, go for it, go for the same color, it doesn't matter. Because I have another watch which has the same color, like one color, and it looks good. And I think it looks pretty good. So one compromise that I think works with the watch. You can still see the crown is more of the golden color. So this cost me 1500 and chroming, buffing, servicing, battery change, all of it for 1500. So yeah, 1500 is good. If your Kohinoor has a leather strap, then obviously leather will not last. But if it has the original metal bracelet, keep it even if you're not going to use it. Other than that, remember, like I said, with the originality, dial, hands, these things are very important. Obviously, the movement. So if the dial is a little faded, it's worn out, you don't like it, don't throw away the original. Even if it's in very bad shape, you can keep it in a separate plastic bag or something and put on an aftermarket uh, dial if it's that bad. But if it's in reasonable condition, I would say still go for it, because you can see here this one, original condition. This watch is from like 1983. It's pretty good condition. You can see a little sign of age, but this is perfectly fine. Some other watches you may see 1 or 2 minute markers starting to fade. I think that is just part of the charm. At least for me, I feel like that shows the use and the age of the watch, and it's been through a lot. So minor issues, I don't think they're that bad. But obviously, if it's completely gone and you can't really see or read anything, then sure, you can go for it. But hands and dials need to be original, in my opinion. Case, even if it's in bad shape, can be polished and buffed, because that is the easy part. Same for the bracelet, unless it's broken and parts of it are missing. I think I would prefer keeping everything original. And then, of course, like I said, the glass is the only thing that I have no issue changing. So with these old HMTs, they have acrylic glass. So if you can find the right one, you can change it. It shouldn't cost you too much. So I'll give you a rough idea of how much it costs for several things. This one, I changed the glass for 250 rupees. Now, this was a little expensive because the glass here was a certain thickness which is not as commonly found with these guys. So I had to leave it with the watch shop, and he said he'll find the right size, because most of them they have like a 1 millimeter thickness or a 2 millimeter. This one was like 1.5, so somewhere in between. They did not have this in stock. I tried with two shops, and then the guy said, okay, leave it with me, I'll find the right one. So a couple of days later I got it. So that's why it cost a little more at 250. um, this one I could not find it in any of the local shops. It's a little worn out, but it's not too bad, so I'm still using the original it came with. Besides this, what else have I done? This watch, this originally came with an acrylic, and so I got one mineral glass installed in this one because I think it's just better. It looks better on this watch as well. So again, this was a little on the expensive side, because this, I don't know if they had it in stock or something, but they charged a little more for this one. I think again 250 or 300 maybe maximum. That was a little too much. But I also had the watch serviced and battery changed. So in total, I think it cost me 900 for these three things. So I don't know what the exact split for the glass was. Maybe glass wasn't that expensive. And yeah, so it'll depend on how difficult some parts are. But the point I'm trying to make is keep the watch as original as you can. That would be ideal. If you have to change something, mm, yeah, try not to change the dial or hands. Glass and bracelet, you can compromise, I feel. Maybe the crown, if you want to keep the original crown, keep it with you. And if the crown is harder to rotate or something, maybe get that changed, but keep the original. Um, and what else? If it's working fine, if it doesn't need a service, if it just looks a little dirty, you can do a little bit of DIY and clean it yourself. So you can get something like this, rubbing alcohol, get some of these microfiber cloths and just clean it yourself. If it needs a little more sort of polishing, you can get something like this bright O polish, and this also cleans and it'll also make it shine a little bit. Not expensive. I'll put the links to these things. So just use a tiny bit and put it on the microfiber cloth and just rub it around the case or something. So I've done this with this watch. I've cleaned this. You can see it has a little bit of shine. Again, I just did it myself, spent like 10 minutes or something, and it looks perfectly fine. Of course, it won't remove the scratches and things like that, but it will add a little bit of shine to the watch and to make it look better. So yeah, once again, to recap, try to keep the watch as original as possible. If it just needs a bit of cleaning, if it's dirty and polishing, then you can do it yourself. If it needs a little more, then obviously get it done. But yeah, try not to get anything replaced if you can. Apart from the strap, if it's a leather strap, then yeah, no worries. But if it's a metal bracelet, keep the original. keep the original hands and dial if you can, and service the movement. But apart from that, yeah, originality is priceless in my opinion. So try to go for that. But yeah, that's all I have for you. 1500 I think is fair, but again, I don't know what the watch looks like, so it'll depend on the condition. But anyway, hope that was useful. I'll have a few videos come out soon. This watch, I'm in love with this watch, so I'll make a video on this one soon. There's another HMT I have. I'll make a video on that as well. And yeah, hope everyone had a great Independence Day. Thank you for watching as usual, and see you next time.